knows best.
Hi, friends, and welcome back to Brenna Knows Best. I'm your host, Brenna Berg. Hi, how are you guys? Happy Monday. Let's just get into it. You guys, I stole all of these from Am I the Asshole? And I was really trying not to, but the relationship advice one, they were just so boring. I said, next, boring. And then I hop on over because I was originally trying to find a Bachelorette one, like I told you last week. And then I ended up in the Am I the Asshole group. And I was like, oh, these are so juicy because it's such like interpersonal conflict. And like, that's what we need. We need the juice. So whatever. But you guys, I have 4 this week because this first one is almost like a little pregame situation. It's like hilarious and it's small. So I just wanted to go through it. But let me tell you what the headlines are and then we'll get into it. The headlines, the titles. Am I the asshole for unplugging my fiance's phone fully charged to use my own charger when my phone was at 4%? And that's killing me because the fact that somebody wrote that into Reddit, like these people got in a fight over that. I'm sorry, the relationship is already doomed. But number 2, am I the asshole for having high expectations for my bachelorette party? I don't remember what it said. I tried to like skim them. Well, actually, if I'm being fully transparent right now, it is 12:46 on Friday. I have spent all morning just going through these Reddit threads trying to find like the best ones. I had this one and then I exited out of it and then I copy and pasted this one and I was like, no, that's not juicy enough. So this took me all day just to like find these. So I was like skimming them. Now I already forgot because I've already gone through hundreds of them this morning. Okay, number 3. Am I the asshole for feeling betrayed after my wife hid that she could never have kids until years into our marriage? Oh, that one's brutal. And that was the other thing. I was also going through them and there were some really good ones from the male perspective, but I'm also biased being a woman. Like there was one that I had and I deleted. Like this guy was upset that his wife or girlfriend makes oral sex jokes, but she like won't give him head or blowjobs. And I was like, oh, that fucking sucks. I'm like, yeah, I would be pissed too if like she jokes about it. Like she would say something like, give this man a blowjob. Meanwhile, she won't even give him a blowjob. I was like, oh, that's really bad. I wouldn't be able to deal with that. I would just sit her down and be like, okay, either give me a goddamn blowjob or don't talk about it. But I took that one out. Maybe I should put it back in. We'll see how long this takes or I'll add it to next week's. But it was just like, it feels weird talking from a male perspective. I'm like, should I be speaking on this? So anywho, I guess who the fuck cares? But number 4, am I the asshole for not letting my infertile mother-in-law be a part of my twins' birth? And you guys know I love the mother-in-law drama. Well, it's funny because I also go through them and it's like, am I the asshole for kicking my family out of this? Or like, am I the asshole for not allowing my family? And I'm like, not the asshole. Like, you guys know with my family, I'm like, cut those bitches off left and right if they're not acting right, which so many people like feel so attached to their family and don't want to cut them off because they're family. Like a family and a friend and an acquaintance, to me, like all of those people could do the exact same thing to me. I'm going to treat them all the same. Like if somebody fucks me over or like treats me a certain way, I don't care if you're family, I don't care if you're foe, I don't care if I don't even know you, I'm kicking you all out just the same. But anyways, okay, let's get into this. The first one. Am I the asshole for unplugging my fiance's phone fully charged to use my own charger when my phone was at 4%? I, 28 male, live with my fiance, 25 female, and we recently had a disagreement that I'd like some outside opinions on. In our home, we have a USB-C charger that stays in the living room. Technically, it's mine, but since we live together, we both use it when needed. A few days ago, her phone was plugged into the charger, but it was already at 100%. Meanwhile, my phone was at 4%, and I urgently needed to send an important email or something similar. I don't remember exactly, but it was something time sensitive. In my rush, I asked her, can I use the charger, while already unplugging her phone to connect mine? She immediately said no. I'm sorry. First of all, that's fucking crazy. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's keep going. This surprised me as her phone was already fully charged and mine was about to die. I had already plugged in my phone by then, so I said, "But your battery's full." I feel like that doesn't even fucking matter if she was at 10% and you were at 4% and you needed to send something. Why the fuck is she mad or care that you need to plug your phone in? I'm sorry. Okay. She got really upset and we had a brief argument about it. We dropped it at the time, but the issue came up again a few days later. She told me that what I did was rude and compared it to her watching TV and me changing the channel without asking. I disagreed because if she were actively watching something, I wouldn't just change the channel. This was different. She insisted that it was negotiable etiquette, meaning that it's still rude even if I think it makes sense. According to her, I should have asked. And if she said no, I should have respected that, even though it was my charger and her phone was already at 100%. So am I the asshole for unplugging her fully charged phone to charge mine in an urgent situation? If you are out there and you are single or you're in a happy relationship, whatever your circumstance is, just be glad that you were not this person in this relationship. Because what the fuck do you mean she got mad that you needed to charge your phone? You guys are sitting at home in your goddamn living room. Her phone is at 100%. And again, I cannot even stress enough, like, if you had to do something quickly, like if Carter and I were sitting in the living room, oh my God, I don't even care if he was on it. If I needed to do something and my phone is about to die, he would say, "Yeah, of course." That's fucking crazy. Obviously, I have no notes. You are not the asshole for plugging in the phone. Well, and it's so funny because he said it's his charger. Like, you guys know, which this has never been an argument with Carter because I always say like his stuff and he's like, "Babe, it's ours." But you know that this man like had to point out that it was his charger, because when you're in the trenches of an argument that is already fucking crazy to begin with, that you're arguing about a phone charger and charging your goddamn phone when hers was at 100%, you're just like reaching out to justify it in any way. So he's like, "Second of all, it's my fucking charger," which you could pull that. You could be like, "You shouldn't have even had your phone on the charger anyways." Like, if she wants to be a petty bitch, I just feel like if these are the arguments that you're having with your partner, that's not a good thing, which maybe you caught her on a bad day, but like, that's crazy. I actually, you guys now see, I went through all of these things this morning. There was one, a guy was like, "Am I the asshole?" Because he helped pay his girlfriend's down payment and he covered her payments. Like, he was paying $400 of her like $525 car payment for months and months and months. And then she finally took it over once she got a raise. And so he would periodically use her car that he helped pay for her, or like buy the car for her in the first place. But now that she is doing the full payments, she won't let him drive the car. He's like, she was gone for work for a week or two and hers is like newer and nicer. He just has his dingy old whatever, but he like helped her in the first place pay for this car and she will not let him drive it. And then he also went on to say that like they go 50-50 and bought a house together, but it's only under her name. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But she's like, "It's mine." She's like, "This is a big thing for me," even though he's paying half of the rent and half of everything. And everybody in the comments was like, "Dude, this bitch is psycho. Like, what are you talking about?" Like, when you're in a relationship, like, shit is just yours. You know, they had been together like 4 years. Like, number one, you helped her buy those things. Carter lets me drive his car all the time and he calls it our car, and I've done nothing to do that, let alone this guy helped her pay for all of those things and is like, "Mine." That's crazy. Okay, moving on. I just thought, like, I came across that. I'm like, this is hysterical that you're coming onto Reddit to ask this question. But let's get into number 2. Oh, the Bachelorette party. I'm excited for this. Am I the asshole for having high expectations for my Bachelorette party? I, 25 female, am getting married to my wonderful fiancé, 31 male, this fall. A week ago, I had a bachelorette party. While most girls dream of their weddings, I dreamt about my bachelorette weekend. That's totally fine, but like, you guys know my hierarchy of things. Like, I don't dream about any of this, but like the last thing I'm dreaming about is my Bachelorette, which I don't judge anybody for. Like, you might be out there and like that's what you're excited for, but that kills me because I just could not be any more opposite. But sorry, okay, I'm making this all about me. Let's keep going. I put a lot of planning into this weekend, made a lot of phone calls, reservations, everything basically. For Thursday night through Sunday morning, me and 25 of my closest girlfriends rented a house. Wait, what the fuck? 25? I'm sorry. Who are you and how do you have that many friends? Oh my gosh. That's actually insane. 25. I don't remember reading this. Holy shit. I just got lightheaded. 25 girls. Okay, sorry, Brenna. Let's keep going. From the start, it was a disaster. I had told my girls to get to the house early on Thursday so they could decorate and set up before I got there. Well, I got to the house at 3 and they weren't even done decorating. That bummed me out because I wanted that wow moment when I came in and saw the setup. I felt robbed, but we still had a decent first night. And here is honestly, I think one of females or women's biggest problems with a lot of things is we put so many expectations on things. Like the fact that you had this idea of like walking in and wow, like it's not wrong to have that expectation, but like I feel we disappoint ourselves like in relationships, in these sort of events, in birthdays. Like we want things to be an exact perfect way, or like I think especially with social media, we see things online, we see the videos of the girl walking in and being like, oh my gosh, wow, and it like we think it's so much bigger than it is. And not to say that there's not real and authentic moments, but I think women oftentimes, I'm just saying this because I am a woman and I get it, like we put these weird expectations on things, which that's fine to have, but I feel like either your friends like don't love you and they suck if you really told them like how important that was for you. But I also like I have a really hard time with these kinds of things because number one, it's a Thursday, like people taking time off. Again, like you can have expectations and want certain things, but I also think sometimes women, especially during bridal situations, like put so much like pressure on the girls. Like they have their own lives. Like this is where I think a lot of the problems with bachelorettes and weddings, like the brides want everything to be about them, which it is your day, it is your weekend, but it's also like they then forget that these girls have like real lives and things and like maybe didn't have the time, which again with communication they could have expressed that, but like I feel those are the two things. Like we oftentimes put expectations on things that it's like you're let down. It's like who gives a fuck? Like, and this is also my biggest issue with everything in life is like, which maybe this has nothing to do with social media, but I feel like we often want things a certain way, like aesthetic and decor and whatever. It's like the one thing that should be the most important is like your time with your people. Like to me, it's like the only thing I ever give a shit about is like having a good time and like being there for my friends. Like if I guess I just like, this is a me thing, but I don't care about decor or outfits or like anything stupid shit like that. It's like, I just want to have fun with my girls. Like the thing that should matter most about your bachelorette weekend, in my opinion, and I get it, some girls like aesthetic and, you know, the photos and the decor and like you're so valid and that's okay. I'm just expressing my opinion, but like, isn't the thing to like be with your girls and have fun? Like that's the number one. You know, but again, and like, oh, this is the first day and you're already disappointed and then you're in that headspace and then you're like, you know, you have all these expectations for everything. You know, I just feel like, oh, yikes. Okay, let's keep going. On Friday, I woke everyone up at 7 a.m. to make breakfast and get ready because we had a packed day. Vineyards, boat, lunch, happy hour drinks, then dinner, and the clubs. I was getting shaded on all afternoon because people said that they were being rushed from place to place and had to carry changes of clothes all day, but we only had limited time in the city and I wanted to make the most of it. Oy. This makes me just like internally, like I have anxiety thinking about this, but that is a packed day. She said vineyards, boat, lunch, happy hour drinks, then dinner, then the clubs. Like that could have been a little bit of poor planning, which I get it. You want to jam pack everything, but like that is a lot. And like social batteries, this is why I hate everything about bachelorette trips. Like you also have 25 girls. How are you getting from place to place? Do you have a bus? Oh, this is like my biggest nightmare. Like I understand totally where she's coming from, because I'm the same on a trip of like just myself or me and Carter. If we were in a new place, like I like to do things, but I also, you got to take into account that you're going to be tired, especially with 25 different people and personalities. Yeah, maybe that was just like poor planning. And again, the expectations, like you literally, I'm telling any woman out there, never go into a bachelorette thinking everything's going to be perfect and daisies and rainbows. Like you can't literally think, like it is so delusional if you think that nothing is going to go wrong, even just like maybe not the personalities but the planning. Like you just really have to go with the flow in these situations, in my opinion. But anyways, okay, let's keep going. Saturday was worse. We had brunch at 9 a.m. and no one was awake in time, so it only ended up being me and a few loyal bridesmaids. We went shopping after for a few hours, and when we got back to the house, no one was even apologetic, even though I was close to tears all day. Oh, girlfriend, please. Like, you can't live like this. She needs to read the book, Mel Robbins' Let Them. Like, it's so sad because it's her bachelorette, but again, you're like putting so much pressure, and like that is shitty that they didn't apologize, but it's like, girl, in tears all day, you just can't I don't know. There's so many thoughts. It's so nuanced. Let's keep going and then we can recap at the end. The last straw for me was later that night when we were going to dinner and nobody was wearing the matching shirts we got for the weekend. People wanted to wear their own stuff, but that's not what we agreed on, even though my maid of honor notified everyone. At that point, I said, fuck it. This weekend was ruined, and locked myself in my room to cry. It was even worse when I came out a few hours later, and half the girls had gone out anyway without me, aka the actual bride. Oh no. This poor girl, I really do feel for her. She's crying. Oh, number one, it sounds like, well, you shouldn't have invited 25 people. Like, obviously these girls aren't close to you, and they're obviously here's the thing with that many people, there are going to be little groups that form, and like, oh, that's so shitty of them not to wear the shirts. Like, but somebody should speak up and be like, wear the fucking shirts. Or like, this should have been clearly spoken about, but like, how do you clearly communicate with 25 girls? Like, oh, there's just so many things that went wrong in this scenario. Okay, let's keep going. Like, she's not in the wrong and she's right and like valid to be upset, but like I understand how everybody else is feeling in that moment. Not about wearing their own outfits, because like, why wouldn't you wear the shirt that you agreed on? But like, she was crying in her room, but also is it like a pity party? Like, I do understand, because these girls are probably really, they signed up for it though. Like, there's so many, it's hypocritical on so many, like, I feel for these people and I feel for the bride, but I also understand where everybody's coming from. That's the problem with me. I don't think I'm a deep empath, but I can always see everybody's sides, where like, on one hand, it is the bride's weekend, you should do as she says, but like, also, yeah, you were out at the clubs, like you really expected everybody to get up. It's just like, maybe if this were 3 girls, but even still, and also you need to like add, variables into this. Like, okay, if you were out and you were planning vineyard, boat, lunch, happy hour, dinner, club, could you have maybe forethought? For what's the word I'm looking for? Could you maybe not have seen that like a 9 a.m. brunch would not be the play? Oh, but again, she's like putting so much pressure on it, so it's just hard. Oh, fuck. Okay, let's keep going. I ended up driving home early on Sunday and left the house a mess for the girls to pick up because I was so upset. Now it's been almost a week. No one has really texted me except some bridesmaids and the maid of honor. I know I sound like Bridezilla, but these are supposed to be my friends, and we were supposed to celebrate me all weekend, and I felt neglected, and I'm really just upset. I understand that these expectations may seem like a lot, but I made my expectations clear to the group, and they just let let me down so bad. Tell me, am I the asshole? And then there's an edit at the bottom. Yes, I have 25 people who I genuinely wanted to celebrate with. 6 of them are in my wedding party, and the other 19 were college friends, childhood friends, work friends, etc. And number 2, maid of honor sent out the itinerary months ago. It was very clear the activities I planned and their prices per person. If someone had wanted to skip out, it wouldn't be a problem, but all the girls paid accordingly, so they knew what they were getting themselves into. Oh, there's another edit at the bottom, and she said, well, I'm very clearly the asshole, so you know she's getting ripped apart in the comments. I've decided to apologize for wanting one weekend to be about me. I need to rethink my friend group and make some changes to the wedding invite list. Thanks. Yeah, I wouldn't say you're the asshole. I would just say that like she didn't really have clear and real expectations. Like 25 people is so many people, and they paid accordingly. But again, like I just said, the first day, like the brunch and the boat and this and that, and then to expect all of these people, like I just can't imagine how a full normal like smart brain would think, yeah, then on the next, I guess, I don't know, fuck, that's so hard. And then to go and cry about it, like clearly this is just like a very sensitive, very type A, very like, again, heavily expectation person, which is just like the worst combo. And that's the thing with like bridezillas and like women who care a lot about weddings and bachelorettes. Like it's not wrong, and like your feelings are so valid, but it's always those people who are let down because they like expect so much. Does that make sense? Like you might be this person who like, it's totally valid to like want your wedding and your bachelorette to be about you and whatnot, like obviously, but like your expectations are so high and like you want to do so much, which again, I get it, but like you also have to understand with managing 25 people, like I don't know. And everybody has different thoughts and feelings on things. Like you could have clearly communicated this. But again, to a person like me, I don't feel the same way about it. So it's hard for me to wrap my brain around somebody caring that much. So like but here's the other part. Like the other side of me, I'm the bitch that like, if you want me there, I'm there. You know what I mean? Like I will do whatever, like if this is a good friend, which I just have a hard time also believing that 25 people are your good friends. So it also like muddies the water because they probably might not feel that close to you and maybe aren't. So they don't really realize how much you cared. Oh, it's so hard. I've been a part of 2 bachelorettes. One, I was in college. It was for my cousin Lauren, and it was a big group of us, and it was like jam-packed, like this, that, and the other. And I did all of the things, and I paid, and I didn't say a word, and I was happy to be there. Like, I'm going to do the things if like that's what's expected of me. Now, on the other hand, I was in my brother's wife's situation, and she wasn't in any of the group chats, so it has nothing to do with his wife. His wife is an angel, and I love her, but there was quite literally only 4 of us, but her sister, her maid of honor, was insane and expecting us to pay so much. So like when 2 of us were like, we don't really want to pay this much, and she was like, this is her big day and da da da, but it was just like so much, and I was like, oh, then I shouldn't be in this. It's just like, I don't know, this kinds of things, especially if you're a person who cares a lot. I just feel like it's a lose-lose. Honestly, I feel like you're always going to be disappointed. Again, I don't think she's the asshole. I just think she needs to like set expectations with herself. And if you're a highly sensitive person, yeah, read Mel Robbins' Let Them, and also maybe get a therapist. I just like can't really wrap my brain around it. But you're also, again, talking to the girl who like, if I did have a bachelorette, number one, I would invite like 3 girls and it would be so fucking chill. So like, I can't really understand like I get it. Like some people, well, no, I don't, because these types of girls aren't my friends. Like the themes and like the this and the that. Again, if my best friend Natalie, we do a big thing, which we'll do a bachelorette for her, obviously, and she wants themed outfits and like to wear this, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm not a person who's not going to do it. So like, it kind of shame on these girls. Like they knew the itinerary, they knew what they were signing up for. But in these kinds of things, I just think there needs to be variability. There needs to be like gray area. There needs to be room for, number one, things to go wrong, things not to be perfect, people to be sick or not feeling well or tired. Like, you just have to take that into account, I think. And this is another thing with bachelorettes and like weddings in general and dresses and things, because it is about the bride, it's so hard to speak up. Like, you get that text, let's say she set the expectations, told them the itinerary, and even if you have a problem, like, there's so many things, like some people would say, well, just speak up, but it's like, you know how much that person cares. So like, if somebody came up to you and said like, oh, I don't really want to do this, or like, maybe this is too much, like, I would be nervous if my friend did this. Maybe not like my closest friend, but again, this is 25 people. These aren't your closest friends. So probably a lot of them were like, oh, it was kind of a lot, but like, you don't want to say that to the bride, because number one, this kind of bride is like insane. And number two, like, even if they aren't, it's still awkward, because if this is what they want to do, so it's just like a battle between, like, even though they did end up ruining it by not really going along, it's also hard to speak up, I think, and like say, you know, have you ever thought like that maybe this is too much, like maybe, and then she's gonna get upset that you're saying that. Oh, that's hard. I feel bad for her, because of course, I would want any woman to feel special on all of the things, but for anybody out there, I would just maybe, number one, don't invite 25 fucking people to your bachelorette. Did you have 25 bitches in one house? Like, my worst nightmare. No offense, like, I'm a girl's girl through and through, but like, I don't want that. I don't want to be with 3 people in a house, like a man or woman. Like, that's just too many people. And women just like naturally are, there's just so much going on and so many personalities and things. I just, no. I remember my cousin Lauren's bachelorette, and this was my first one. I was also like 19 at the time or something. And Lauren's a little bit older. She's like 24 at the time. I don't quite remember. Maybe I was 18. Was I a freshman? And it was like her childhood best friend and then her current best friend, and they were beefing. And I knew her childhood best friend, but not her current friend. Like, me and Lauren were sisters growing up, so I would go up there all the time to the farm. I've talked about this. And Jocelyn was her like childhood best friend, but Jocelyn's like very much kind of a bitchy girl. Like, she's like very headstrong and will say what she means and will roll her eyes, and like, that's her personality. I remember as a kid, like, I didn't really like her. Like, it was like fiending for Lauren's attention, and like, she was just like blunt. I'll say that. Maybe not rude. And then Lauren's new like adult friend that lives in her tiny little town now is like, oh my gosh, she's like more reserved and just like, and she's like the current BFF, and like the tension was so weird. But I was on not Jocelyn's side, like I wasn't picking sides, but I knew her and I didn't know the new friend. And so like, you form these little groups. I can only imagine in a group of 25 people, like there are some that know each other, some that don't, and you're kind of gravitating, you're kind of being like, oh, the bride's kind of being a fucking crazy maniac right now. I can only imagine. I would love to hear what it was like from one of the friends' eyes or like lens, you know what I mean? Oh, that's hard. I feel for the bride, because that sucks, and it's like your one weekend. But like, maybe just do something with your actual closest friends. Like 25 motherfucking people, I just like can't even get past that. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This one, we're gonna get a little dark, a little deep, but I think it's a good one. This is the male perspective, obviously. Am I the asshole for feeling betrayed after my wife hid the fact that she could never have kids until years into our marriage? I, 34 male, met my wife, 33 female, about 10 years ago. From the very beginning, I knew she was special. We clicked instantly. Same sense of humor, same life goals, or so I thought, and just an overwhelming feeling of this is the person I want to build a life with. As we dated, I made it very clear that I've always wanted a family. I wasn't pushy about it, but I talked about how I looked forward to being a dad one day, how I wanted to raise kids and create a loving home together. She never gave me any indication that she didn't want that too. She would smile and nod and sometimes even talk about what kind of parent she thought that she would be. Fast forward a few years, we get married. It was the happiest day of my life. Oh my gosh, how sweet. sweet. This guy's fresh. I loved this woman with my whole heart, and I truly believed that we were on the same page about everything that mattered. Then, a few years into our marriage, we started talking more seriously about trying for kids. That's when she finally drops the bombshell. She has known since before we even met that she has a medical condition that makes it impossible for her to conceive. Not unlikely, not difficult, impossible. I literally just got goosebumps on my arms. Oh my God. That is really fucked up. And you know he wants to be a dad so badly. Oh my God. My heart breaks for this man. That's so fucked up. That's like the biggest thing. Oh my God. And you've been like keeping this omission. I'm going to say lie. That's a lie. The fact that you, oh my gosh. I can't believe that. Like literally, why would you do that to yourself? Especially, why would you do that to this man? If you really love that man, that's crazy fucked up. Okay, let's keep going. I was stunned. It wasn't even just that she couldn't have kids. It was that she knew all along and never told me. Not when we were dating, not when I expressed over and over how much I wanted children, not before we got married, nothing. When I asked her why she never told me, she just said she didn't want to lose me and hoped that by the time we got to this point, I would love her enough that it wouldn't matter. No, sweetie, you can't do that to somebody. That's like so big. That's like, oh, fuck. She also admitted that she was scared I would leave if I knew. And now I don't even know how to feel. I love her. I loved her. But I can't shake this overwhelming feeling of betrayal. This wasn't some small omission. She took away my ability to make an informed decision about my future. She knew this was a deal breaker for me and just lied by omission. I feel trapped. I feel cheated. And worst of all, I don't know what to do next. Oh my gosh. Well, number one, sir, you did nothing wrong. Oh my gosh, well, if you want kids and you leave. I think divorce. I think that's so fucked up. Like as a woman, if you, oh my gosh, I don't care how much you love somebody, you thought that by the time that this man wouldn't want a child, and like he just said, you took away his choice, you took away his autonomy to like, you didn't take it away, but it's like, what the fuck did you expect? Like, oh my gosh, and shame on her because like the emotional turmoil, because you know if he comes to her with divorce, she's gonna be like, you don't love me enough. But that's like probably the biggest, even like worse than cheating, like form of betrayal, because like you love that person and you know that he loves you, and you also knew from the get-go, like very early on, that he wanted kids and you couldn't have them. Oh my gosh, my heart breaks for him. Yeah, she's fucking insane. Like, and oh my gosh, like this is again the biggest thing in a relationship, like compatibility, and like the fact that you knew that, I just like cannot understand that. That would be like the first thing I tell a man, even if he didn't even know if he wanted kids. Like you say that, you speak up, you tell them that you cannot have children, especially when you know that that man wants them. Oi, 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 oi. That's so bad. I wonder what's going to happen with him. And like the fact that she just lied by omission for 10 years. Oh, like how did it get there? How did you? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's fucked up. That's so fucked up. That's so fucked up. I have no notes. Like what if you want children, and I think he should have them, but it's not with this. Well, obviously, and that's the thing. And then this is why, which I don't even know why I'm saying this, but like why I don't believe in soulmates. Like you can love somebody so much and like they got married and you can be so happy and the relationship can be so good. But like if you want kids and she literally cannot not have kids, like it's not her fault. Like obviously she has a medical condition. This is nothing against her. And just because they're good together, like that is just not, you guys aren't meant to be. And like, how do you go on? Like, I don't think you can't stay married, because he's always like, if he's always had a deep desire to have a family and have kids, and then he just doesn't, because number one, this girl lied to him, his wife and girlfriend and love of his life, for 10 years. And like, I always feel like one or the other, whether, you know, a person didn't want kids and then they have them for the person, or they wanted kids and then they don't, like the resentment, and like, you're just going to go down the road. And number one, also number two, the fact that she lied and like did that. Yeah, that's really bad. That's really, really bad. And like, what else could she lie about? Like, is there anything else? But like, that's like the biggest thing. Like, that's like quite literally worst case scenario. I don't think there's anything worse than that. Oh, that's bad. Okay, I think we move on. I know that was dark. Let's get into mother-in-law drama. And more so, I'm so fascinated, another thing, by women talking about being pregnant and having a birth and like setting boundaries with people. And again, do I need to say my stance? Cut off those bitches left and right. Like, if somebody wants to be in the room with you giving birth, I don't care who that is. You're the one giving birth. You have the final say. Okay, so let's get into this and we'll talk more about that. Am I the asshole for not letting my infertile mother-in-law be a part of my twins' birth? I don't give a fuck if she's even fertile. I don't give a fuck about anything. Clearly, she had your husband, so like, I don't know why you're not in the wrong for not letting her be a part of it, even if she did nothing wrong. Sorry, let's keep going. Okay, so this is a bit complicated, but hear me out. I, 29 female, am married to my husband, 30 male, and we've been trying to have a baby for about 3 years. After a long emotional journey, we finally found out that we're having twins. Really quickly, that's my worst nightmare. But how good for them. My husband and I were ecstatic, and we immediately started planning everything for the arrival of our little ones. Oh my gosh, after 3 years, yeah, I bet that's so exciting. Like, not only are you having one, you're having two. I mean, I'm just like, the fact of having two babies in my tummy is the part that makes me go, ah, you know what I mean? Okay, now here's where the problem started. My mother-in-law, 46 female. Oh my God, 46 female, and your husband's 30. She had him at 16. I mean, pop off queen, but I'm just making a little note of that. My mother-in-law, 46 female, has been struggling with infertility for over a decade. Is she trying to have a baby at 46 years old? I mean, you can do whatever you want, but okay, Brenna, just keep reading. Sorry. She's openly talked about it for years, and although I sympathize with her pain, she's always been kind of aggressive about it. I've tried to support her, but there's only so much I can do. Anyway, when I announced that I was pregnant with twins, she completely lost it. She started demanding that I share my babies with her because she said she deserved to experience motherhood again in some way. No! No. I don't care who you are. Somebody else getting pregnant is not you getting pregnant. How are you going to even say, oh my God, that's so fucking weird and like bad. And what the fuck is wrong with you? And why is it always the mother-in-law? Share my babies with her because she deserves. How the fuck are you going to take anybody else's pregnancy and like birthing away from somebody? Like, even if I were to never have children and I don't know what the scenario is, we adopt or somebody else gets pregnant, like, that's not my what the fuck are you talking about? Oh my God. Okay, let's keep going. I'm already fuming. She even suggested that I let her raise one of the twins, or that I'd be selfish if I did it. Ah! Deceased. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? She said this more than once, and each time it felt like she was crossing a line. This will be important later. I'm already done. We're going home. Pack your bags. What the fuck are you talking about? And how are you as a human being going to say, what is your husband doing? What is your husband saying? Please don't tell me we have another spineless asshole. What the fuck? If Carter's mother said that to me, I'd say, leave. don't even come in my house. What a fucking odd thing to say. As if that wasn't bad enough, my wedding was around the same time as my baby shower. I had always planned a simple ceremony with my closest friends and family, but of course, my mother-in-law had to weigh in on everything. She insisted that the dress code for my wedding should be formal and elegant, but she showed up in a white dress, clearly trying to overshadow me on my big day. Nope. Your mother-in-law is the biggest problem of all time, and your husband, oh my God. Oh my gosh. I can't. And even though I don't give a fuck about weddings and like this kinds of stuff and like the ceremony and like whatever, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy. When I called, oh my God, wait, also her demanding the dress code, her weighing in on everything, I just like, oh, where do people get off? Like, you guys, I don't even, when I'm talking to literal strangers or people I don't even know, I don't even tell them my opinions. I don't even wait. Like, why do people feel the need to force their thoughts and opinions on anybody, especially about something so big, especially about somebody's pregnancy, their birth, their wedding? Like, I won't even weigh in my opinion on like where people want to eat or like if you like a food or not. I'm like, whatever. Let alone if somebody is talking about their wedding or their birth, like that especially has no place for anybody to comment. I cannot wrap my head around people feeling the need to speak their opinions and thoughts and weigh in on everything, or even feel like they have a say in something that is not theirs. I cannot understand it. When I called her out on it, she told me that white is the color of motherhood and that I was being petty for making it about me. It felt like she was trying to steal the spotlight at every opportunity. No, don't invite her to anything ever again. I don't give a shit. What the fuck? The color of motherhood? Shut the fuck up. Fast forward to my baby shower. She continued to be insistent on taking one of my twins, saying things like, I'd be a much better mother than you. I deserve it? And what kind of person wouldn't want to share the joy of their babies? Fuck no. This person is an actual psycho. What? No, I'm not kidding. She's got mental issues, like a mental disorder. Because what the fuck are you talking about right now? My husband tried to step in, but she shut him down and said that it was his fault for not controlling his wife. I'm sorry, come again? I'm sorry, what? No offense, and I don't mean to like shame and like do this whole thing, but I've got something to say because she's pissing me the fuck off. I know that the bitch who got pregnant at 16 doesn't have something to say. No offense. This is exactly why I worry so deeply about the women that I know that are not right in their mind and are very immature and very insecure. Why I worry about them becoming mothers, and like no matter what the circumstances, let's say it's worst case scenario that she got pregnant at 16, like this is exactly why people and just young couples and like women, whatever the scenarios are, even people into their 30s but like an immature man, why these people should not have children, because this is the way they act. Not control your wife. What are you even talking about? No. And this is, oh yeah, that's so bad. And this is why I also think about like the worst women I know, like the women that just like act so poorly, like that person then going on to raise a child and like they're just creating another one of them. Like I think about the women that I know that are super insecure and like never really grew and still just like act really poorly, and I'm like, now you're a mom. Like, oh, not to like mom shame or like, that's not really what I'm doing. I just like, this is what creates the cycle. It's similar to like, you know how the women in like corporate workplaces or just workplaces in general, like the 50-year-old women are the worst. They're nasty. They're bullies. They like say rude things. They're like jealous of you. It's like, you're a grown ass woman and you're acting that way. Like that woman is a mother. That woman raised children. That woman is this woman, like the crazy fucking mother-in-law. Okay, let me keep going. After a heated argument, I told her I was done. She was not welcome in the hospital when I gave birth, and she wouldn't be allowed to hold my babies ever. Yes. Fuck yes, enough. Like, this is what boundaries look like, especially with a psycho person like this. You have to do that. I 1000% stand behind that. I will never side beside people that are like, but she's his mom, but like, no, you act fucking crazy, you get treated like that. Or like, and you're not even being treated, like, you aren't even doing half of what she's done to you. Like, creating a boundary for yourself so you don't have to put up with that 1000% till you die. Now, all of my friends and family are blowing up my phone saying I was too harsh and that I should have handled it more delicately. Fuck no, this is what I'm talking about. Oh my God, this shit pisses me off so badly. So badly, because what are you guys talking about? Do you not see how this woman has treated her? This is like, people don't like live in real life. They don't know what a boundary is. They don't know, like, what are you talking about? People only see, they're like, this is exactly what I was just saying. I knew that there would be people. I know there's probably people listening right now, but it's his mom. But like, it wasn't that bad. Nope. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. 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 And this is why people like this woman get on and like are able to act like this, because nobody has ever put them in their fucking place. Nobody has created a boundary. Nobody has told her no. So it's good that you start. Absolutely not. Some even think that I should apologize for not letting her be a part of my children's lives in a meaningful way. No, she needs to apologize and she needs to prove with actions that she can be a normal fucking human being. I don't care. I don't care in this scenario. Now, if somebody, like, I know a scenario where there's like, and again, protect your children. I guess, who am I to say? If for whatever reason a mom and a dad don't feel like their children should be around a grandparent, like, those parents have the right to make that decision. Do I think it would be fucked up if the parents never did anything and like two people were just keeping their children from their grandparents when they did nothing? Yeah, but that's just my opinion. But especially in this case, no, you don't want that woman around your children. Like, also, the children are going to see her treat you that way. Nope. No, and I think that's good that you're teaching them that you don't allow that bullshit. Absolutely not. And who's to say in like 5 years it won't change? Like, she will act accordingly. If she really wants to be a part of their lives, then she wouldn't treat you like that. Then with this boundary, she will start to act accordingly. And if not, then that's on her. She is actively making the choice to not be a part of their life. You know what I'm saying? That's on her. Without a doubt. Like, you are creating this boundary. You are saying, like, as you are, how you are acting right now, you are not allowed to be in their lives, as they should not be, as she should not be. You know what I'm saying? No. And she can have a part in their lives if she acts accordingly. That is what a boundary is. So, am I the asshole for not letting my infertile mother-in-law be a part of my twins' birth after everything she said and did? Or should I have just swallowed my pride and let her not be involved? Nope, she needs help. She needs a therapist. She needs to be put in her place. 1000%, you are not the asshole. I would cut somebody off and create that boundary quicker than that, for less than that. That is like so insane. Oh my gosh. So many people have like way more patience than me. And I used to be a person who like was so kind, and I would never believe the things that I'm saying now, but I have come to realize that life is way too fucking short to let other people dictate how you feel and like how you live your life. Like, why would you ever let somebody keep coming around and disrespect you like that, even if it's your mother-in-law? Like, this is what boundaries are for. Like, that's on her. I 1000% am not the believer that like you are doing something wrong. You are telling her to come correct or don't come at all. Those are my final thoughts. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I feel like these were good. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I will see you guys on Friday. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.